All right, so this one's for my vegetarians and my vegans. Tonight we're checking out Crossroads Kitchen in Resorts World. This is a place I've been wanting to go to for a really long time, so I'm really excited to check this one out. Let's go get some food. All right, guys, so we are in Crossroads. This is a place I've been wanting to go to for a really long time. It's all plant-based food, especially we've been in Vegas for almost a week now, so I don't think I've even eaten one vegetable since we've been here, so it's probably a good time that we check this place out. There are some specials on the menu. There's an asparagus risotto for $22, which was highly recommended to us. Crispy maitake mushrooms and strawberry mille feuille, whatever. I think I said that wrong. Anyway, a couple things on the features. Yeah, as I said, we were strongly recommending the asparagus as well as the mushroom skewers. I think they're like lion-made mushrooms. Anyway, we're going to go dig through the menu a little bit, and then we'll check in very shortly.
One eternity later.
All right, so we waited about 20 minutes to order, which kind of disappointing because we were trying to get to something a little bit later tonight. We might not have time for that now, but anyway, we ordered a couple apps to start with. So we got those mushroom skewers they were talking about. I think it comes with like a chimichurri. It sounds really, really good. And then we also ordered the meatballs, so there'd be impossible meatballs with like a tomato sauce and everything. For the mains, we were recommended the asparagus risotto, so of course we had to get that. And then we also got the tagliatelle bolognese, which is going to be like, again, another impossible meat, like kind of bolognese sauce. So I hope things pick up. I mean, I'm looking forward to eating here. It was a bit of a disappointment to start with, but crossing my fingers. Let's wait till the food gets here. I'm really hungry, so.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Not only have we been sat here for a very long time, we finally just got our first app. They brought us the wrong thing. So they brought us some calamari that we didn't even order. These are the meatballs. So we did actually order this, so I'm thankful that they brought this, but yeah, honestly, I really wanted to like this place, and I'm disappointed so far, but I'm going to give this a little try first, just so at least, you know, we got to eat something. Sat here for a very long time. There's a fruit fly. Okay, so this is going to be the meatballs, impossible meatballs. Yeah, so even temperature-wise, these are not very warm. These feel like they've been sitting for a bit. You know, they should be piping hot right now, but they're not. So far, I'm really not very impressed. Cody's gonna try his now, I guess. But yeah, I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat this, but I don't know what's going on here. This has been a bit of a letdown so far. So they did come by. They said they're gonna bring us another one out. I don't know. These lion's mane skewers came out. Cody had a little bit of a bite, so I'm gonna have some of his just to see what it's like. Again, not like they're not cold, but they're not like piping hot like you think like fresh food from coming out from the oven would be. They said that there's a problem in the kitchen. There's a backup, this and that. I don't know. To me, everything just feels like it's been sitting there for a long time, but I don't know. Holding out hope that things will get a bit better. Fingers crossed. Anyways. Okay, just a quick update. They did bring us a new batch of these meatballs very quickly, which makes me kind of wonder why the first set took as long as they did. Our server also came by afterwards and, you know, was like, everything good? Like, he had no knowledge that there was an issue. So, seems to be a communication issue. The place is busy, I will give them that, but I just don't understand. I don't know. So far, I can't say I'm wowed. You know, those skewers didn't wow me at all. Meatballs aren't bad. It was just that the first batch came out kind of cold. We still have 2 more plates coming too. Like, I gotta be honest with you, I'm almost ready to kind of just tell them to cancel it. We can just, like, go on our merry way like this. But again, keeping our, you know, fingers crossed that things are going to get better. But I have to say, so far, I'm not really wowed. But let's see what happens. All right, so the entrees just arrived. It definitely seems like things have picked up a little bit, which I'm happy about. All right, I'm going to give this asparagus risotto a quick try. Again, this all is plant-based, so even the cheese, cream, things like that. There is a skin on there, so again, it kind of does look like it's been sitting, but let's give it a try anyway. So it's good. It's so creamy, you know, even though that there's no like cream or cheese or anything like that in there, you don't miss it at all. It still has great flavor. Like I said, it does look like it has been sitting because there is a skin. I'm going to take a little bit of this tagliatelle. This is another bolognese sauce. So tagliatelle is going to be like your sort of like flatter pasta noodle, but again, like a little more flat. All right, so this is a bolognese with plant-based again, obviously. So that's interesting. The pasta is all made fresh too, which is nice. Again, the bolognese, you get that like garlicky kind of meaty sauce. It doesn't really, it still kind of tastes meaty, to be honest with you. I'm not, again, like I don't eat meat, but like I'm not missing the meat in it at all. You almost get like a fennel type flavor in it, like you would get in like, you know, like a sausage or a meat or anything like that. Anyway, Cody looks like his eyes about to pop out of his head, so we're gonna finish these up and we're gonna check in with you in a little bit after we finish them. Okay, so unfortunately, this is the part of making these videos that I really don't like doing, but I sort of made a commitment to myself that I was always going to be honest, you know, good, bad, ugly, etc. And I have to say that was a really disappointing experience at Crossroads. I've been wanting to eat this place for a really long time. Like, you know, if you've been following the channel, you know that I am a pescatarian, so I do eat fish, seafood, etc. But, you know, it always is nice for me to experience, you know, different vegetarian, vegan, etc. places, because I do like to see what else is out there. You know, being as I don't eat meat, you know, having, you know, things like meatballs and, you know, carbonara and things like that, that, you know, do traditionally contain meat, not containing meat, is, you know, something of interest to me. So I've been wanting to try this place out for a while. I know they do a great Sunday brunch as well, which is another thing I want to check out. But anyway, this is what we planned on doing today. So anyway, we checked in with the hostess. Hostess was very friendly. We did have to wait a little bit for a table, not a big deal. So we gambled a little bit, got in there, and they texted us when, you know, when it was time for our table to get to be ready. So you know, while they were waiting, we did actually ask as well a couple recommendations, one being those lion head mushroom like skewers and asparagus risotto. So we thought, okay, well, she recommended those, we definitely get those too then. Sat down, you know, right away they brought us some waters, which was good. We decided not to get drinks tonight, just because we had been, you know, out in the sun all day and thought, let's take it easy. So didn't get any cocktails. But then we sat there about 20 minutes and nobody came. I almost felt like we were just forgotten. Our table was sort of, you know, brushed to the side, and, you know, we were sat a little bit before another table that was being served before us, another table of two. So we thought that was strange too, a different server. But anyway, you know, we got up eventually after 20 minutes or so and said, you know, no one's come to even take our order yet. So all of a sudden, you know, some guy rushes over and takes our order. So we just told him that we gave him everything because we thought, you know, the way things are going, let's just order everything. So we ordered those lion head mushroom skewers as recommended, as well as the meatballs, because I know Cody's a big meatball fan. So I thought that might be a good thing to have with the marinara sauce and everything, so it sounded kind of interesting. So we ordered that. For our mains, Cody thought the asparagus risotto sounded good. I thought the tagliatelle with, you know, the carbonara sauce sounded interesting as well, so we ordered those two. I thought, let's just, you know, put everything on the table. Family style, we'll just share everything. The apps came out after a while of waiting, and first of all, they brought us the meatballs, and I wouldn't say they were cold, but they definitely weren't hot. They weren't like right out of the oven hot. They'd definitely been sitting there for a while. They also tried to bring us some calamari that like mushroom calamari, of course, that we didn't even order. So they took that away, brought us the meatballs. Again, they were kind of just like warm at best. We did mention and this wasn't even our actual server, this was people who were just bringing the food out, and we did mention to them that it was not, you know, very warm. So they brought us another one out, which quite honestly probably could have done without, because, you know, it's probably a bit too much food. But anyway, they brought us another one out, which was definitely a lot hotter and definitely how the dish should have been served. Those are pretty good. They had a nice taste to them. You know, again, I don't eat meat, but even Cody, who is a meat eater, said, you know, you'd have to tell me, if you hadn't told me this was not meat, then, you know, I might not necessarily have known. So, you know, that's high praise for someone who definitely does eat a lot of meat.
That's what she said.
I will say the skewers, they were definitely, you know, you could tell they were mushroom. They had, you know, the mushroom texture of like I wouldn't say slimy, but a little bit slimy maybe. So yeah, they were definitely mushrooms. You only got 3 little skewers. Didn't overly thrill me with the chimichurri sauce. Again, didn't overly thrill me. Out of the 2, I probably preferred the meatballs for sure. I will also mention, like I mentioned when we were in the restaurant, that it seems strange that when we did mention that the meatballs did come out not very warm, that they were able to bring us another one out very quickly, which was warm. So again, it does make me think that things were possibly just sitting there and our server just
wasn't paying attention because it was other people bringing our food, other people, you know, filling our water, this and that. He really didn't do a whole lot. The funny thing was our actual main server did come by at one point to check on us, and didn't even seem to know the issue of the meatballs. It was just like, was everything okay? And, you know, didn't even seem to know that there was a problem. So anyway, just something to know. Somebody else actually came and like cleared our plates and cutlery and this and that. But again, we were sharing. So when they brought our food out, we did ask if you could bring a couple extra, you know, plates, just because we were sharing everything, but we had no cutlery. So they had to come back and bring us more cutlery. So anyway, everything was fine. I tried the asparagus risotto first. Again, it just looked like it was sitting. There was a bit of, you know, when you get like soup that's been sitting for a bit and you have that bit of like a skin on top, it kind of had that. So I definitely feel like it had been sitting for a bit, possibly under a heat lamp to kind of keep it warm. The taste was, I didn't think it was bad. Cody thought it was a bit maybe acidic or something like that, but to me personally, I didn't find it to be too bad. The tagliatelle was probably a bit better. The noodles were cooked, you know, I would say more on the al dente side. You know, my grandfather's Northern Italian, so I'm kind of more used to like the pasta being cooked a little more soft, but I still did enjoy it. You could definitely taste like a fennel that was in the bolognese sauce from the Impossible Meat, but all in all, it was still good. I know Cody definitely preferred that one as well. At this point though, we were stuffed, you know, especially as we had those other meatballs and stuff. So we thought, let's just get everything wrapped up. Let's get out of here. We are trying to, you know, make plans to do something else a little bit later. So we thought, let's just, you know, wrap this up and get out of here. Again, sat there for a very long time. Nobody coming by, no one checking on us, nothing. So once again, Cody got up, and at this point there was a manager there, so we just, you know, mentioned, you know, that we, you know, weren't having the best experience overall. I felt a bit bad because I hate complaining at restaurants. I really do, because, you know, I know it's tough. I mean, I know I couldn't handle working in a restaurant, so, you know, I really do hate complaining, but this was just kind of, you know, one thing after the other. You know, sometimes one thing happens and they, you know, realize that they error and kind of thing, and, you know, try to fix it, try to make things right. But this just seemed like it was just a continuous thing, and yeah, it was just unfortunate. Fortunately, as I said, we did speak to Nicole, who, you know, did take care of us in the end. You know, offered to take care of the bill, which really we didn't want to be the case. I really did want to like this place, I swear to you. I've been looking forward to eating here for a very long time. I've been wanting to eat here for a very long time, but you know, we just never had the chance. So you know, this was a prime opportunity with us staying at Resorts World. We thought, let's try it out. But yeah, all in all, just was kind of a disappointing experience. I do appreciate Nicole, you know, again, taking care of things, and you know, big kudos to Nicole for recognizing that maybe things weren't so good for us. But even still, even that, you know, our server came by again with the bill after that we'd already spoken to Nicole, and, you know, again, it just seemed like they weren't communicating with one another, because, you know, one person would fix something and then he'd come by, you know, 10 minutes later having no knowledge that there was even a problem. I guess we'll do the whole, you know, is the spot right for you? Food wise, I thought the food was decent. Like, you know, I don't think that it's just for vegetarians or vegans. You know, I do think that especially when you're on vacation for a while, you're probably not eating the healthiest. You're probably eating a lot of, you know, quick grab and go stuff, or, you know, sit down and having big heavy meals and things like that. So I think this feels healthier, if that makes sense. You know, being plant-based isn't necessarily always going to be healthy, because I know there are a lot of things that tend to be over processed and whatnot, like, you know, Beyond Meat, I guess, is, you know, possibly one of those things. But all in all, it still did feel like somewhat healthier at least than some, you know, big heavy meals could be. I mean, you're still having pastas, you're still having sauces, things like that, but it did still feel like a little bit on the healthier side. So I would say definitely, if you are like a vegetarian, vegan, obviously this place is going to be, you know, pretty good for you. Lots of options, lots of, you know, really, you know, good eats to have there. Lots of salads, pizzas, things. I mean, I didn't think the prices were too bad either. I mean, I think the most expensive dish was like around $30-ish. So it seems like everything is pretty reasonable. They do have tasting menus as well. One around, I think, is around $85 for like I think it's around 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 course, and then there's another one for I think around 175, which also does include like a cookbook and, like, you know, meeting with the chef and things like that. So that's kind of an interesting thing to do. I would also say that, you know, if you are, like I said, you know, maybe on vacation here and, you know, trying to eat a little bit lighter, a little bit healthier, if you have been, you know, like us, and eating lots of, you know, pizza and, you know, heavier dishes as you're walking up and down the strip, or grab and go stuff, I think this was a nice way to kind of break that up and have something maybe a little bit more healthy. I am definitely disappointed that we didn't have a good time because we really did go there hoping to. And like I said, you know, there were people there who did try to make it right, but I just felt like we were kind of like a little bit forgotten and a little bit kind of brushed to the side at times. So it was kind of disappointing. That said, I wouldn't say that's the case for other people. We saw other tables being, you know, their servers were very attentive, you know, definitely going by a lot, definitely, you know, checking on them, bringing them food quickly, you know. It definitely seemed like it was possibly an issue with our server particularly, whether he was just busy with other tables, whether he just had something else going on. I don't know, but, you know, we still did tip him. We still left him, you know, the standard 20%. Whether he deserved it or not is debatable, but we still did tip him, you know, even though the bill was taken care of. I definitely wouldn't write it off though. I would say that, you know, based on other people, it looked like they were having good service, so I'm not going to write it off. I would say that we definitely would maybe be willing to try it again. Maybe we go there for brunch sometime. I know that they did do a very interesting Sunday brunch. Maybe we, you know, check out another way for lunch or something like that, just to maybe try, you know, possibly with a different server. Maybe that would help a little bit. I don't know. Something to think about. Anyway, don't let this sway you. You know, I definitely would say still go check it out for yourselves. It was busy enough in there, so it was nice to see that people were definitely, you know, eating, drinking, being merry, you know, all in that environment, everything. So, you know, they're obviously doing something right, and I'm happy for them for that. It just unfortunately didn't work out for us, and tonight just wasn't our night, and it is what it is. Anyway, if I've missed anything, please don't hesitate to leave any questions or comments below. You know, obviously it's really helpful to other travelers because they may have the same questions as you do. It's also really helpful for me because any interactions you guys have with my videos, whether you're liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, etc., all helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you're not subscribed, there is a button in the corner there. Please do consider subscribing. It's completely free for you. Really helps me keep delivering this free content to you, and I'd really, really appreciate it. Once again, this has been Daniel Spotlight. Viva Las Vegas, and we'll see you in the next one.